What's up, guys? Back with another episode of Barbells and Banter. We have Jess on the podcast. We fielded some of your questions that you guys have had coming in over the last few weeks. Obviously, thank you very much for doing so. Don't hesitate to get more of those in. We'll be filming more of these Q&As in the future. We talked a little bit more about my addiction to hot cross buns. So we definitely started there.
We're all here for you, Jess.
But then we fielded some of life's hard questions, like whether you eat rice with a spoon or a fork. We talked about things like programming. We talked about, the optimal time to enter in a powerlifting meet or a bodybuilding show. So tune in, enjoy the episode. Perfect opportunity to hit the sub button. So do that now. Support the mission. Thank you very much. Enjoy the episode, and we'll see you next time. How many hot cross buns have you had this week?
0 hot cross buns.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Trying to be good.
Well, there goes.
I'm trying to be good, but I may have eaten a bag of caramel koalas.
Yeah. How many maxi buns you had?
4? As I only bought
I
one
had 4.
box.
Yeah.
Wait,
Fuck,
how long?
bro.
How long did it take you to eat through 4?
4 nights.
Oh, that's good.
That's
well
pretty
done.
good.
Yeah, they're still the goat.
So I'm on I'm probably on a pack a day.
Maxi buns are better than
A
hot cross.
pack a
day.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Lordy.
I am feeling good.
Lordy.
Yeah, your boys digging them.
in all fairness, your pump photos have been good. So
Maybe not a pack a day, but I've had. Oh, this is embarrassing.
yes.
I've had.
You introduced the topic. You can't be coy now.
I've had 24 hot cross buns this week.
Fuck yeah.
24. Yeah.
Fuck.
Okay, no.
Yeah. So yeah,
Proud of you.
24. What do you mean? You grab 2 at a time. So you do that 3 times and it's over. If you grab 2
Yeah.
every 3 times, the pack is gone.
Yeah.
So as soon as I buy them, I eat 2, and then get home after a couple of hours, eat 2, and then just before bed eat 2.
Do you know how you give the kid grapes to walk around the
Yeah, yeah,
supermarket so
I
they
get
stay
hot cross
quiet?
buns.
Jason's like, I already finished this bag, but you can stay.
And then Steph came home. Steph's like, I'm at the supermarket, getting stuff for dinner, and then she come home, and she bought another packet, and I was like,
Well, now I've got to eat those.
well, I at least eaten 2 of them
Yeah,
last night.
get it.
So, but they were chocolate ones.
Chocolate hot cross buns are my favourite.
Yeah,
They've
we've got
gone down.
We've got a ranking system, and we won't bring you in on it. So the apple and cinnamon is the best.
Agreed.
Like lights out.
Yep.
And the apple and cinnamon from Coles.
Yes.
So they are number 1, and I'm more than happy to debate people.
I will fight. I will fight people.
AKA fight.
Yeah, original is pretty close, like below that.
Yeah.
And then chocolate is below original.
Have you
That's my
tried the
opinion.
indulgent Biscoff ones?
Yeah, so what we were talking about when on the podcast the other day about the Biscoff ones is it's the bun that's not nice. So the actual bun itself is not good. The hot cross bun.
Because they rely on the
You're
biscuit.
upset.
No,
Jason's
so
upset with
I
that.
don't like. So I'm not huge on like
A lot of
nutmeg.
Instagram girlies probably scoffed at me just then. the
I'm
bun's
not
not
huge on like nutmeg and cinnamon as flavors generally. So like
So you
I
basically
can-
don't like apple and cinnamon, so you can't have this conversation with us.
apple and cinnamon are okay. I don't like original hot cross buns. Like I find them
Yeah.
quite boring. Like I don't.
Yeah.
I would
Fair.
prefer to have it as a sweet. So like chocolate. Yeah, it's fine.
Shouldn't have had this conversation. We should have just been biased. And
it's
just,
just-
It's fine. I'm allowed to be different to you guys. Okay, maybe.
So
chocolate is good.
I think chocolate is equal with OG. OG, I need to preface,
I reckon-
no rind. Because OG actually has rind in it, and rind's fucking disgusting.
there you go.
What's that?
It's like the peel.
Ew.
Right.
Yeah, so OG one has an orange peel in it.
Ew.
And it's horrid.
I've never
So-
had that.
Nah, I'm just talking. Are these sultanas?
We're talking
Yeah, the
about-
basic fruit, cinnamon.
Whatever the fruit one is,
Yeah,
without the
so-
minus the yuck shit.
Mine's the
Toasted,
yucky.
toasted chocolate is equal to fruit.
You know what we
Yum.
need to do here? There needs to be apple cinnamon is S tier, and then chocolate and original, not whatever he
No
was
peel.
smiling at me about the
No
peel.
peel.
Because you like them, don't you, Michael? Is that why you're looking? Oh, I thought he was looking at me like, yeah, they're good.
Nah, he's just old enough to know.
Okay,
Yeah.
so fruit and chocolate is A tier,
Mm.
right? And then I think Biscoff is B tier.
There you go.
I think Biscoff
I haven't
is
tried it to comment.
but because it's a
I don't like Biscoff that much.
if you
so-
look at a scoring system of like the softness of the bun, the texture of it, and then the flavor, The size.
Moistness.
The size.
Moist.
Yeah.
Tam says one thing on the podcast and is like,
Yeah, the moistness.
Moist?
Hey, you know what? It is the moistness is
It
actually
matters.
the moisture
It's high importance.
is a big deal because like
Yeah.
the baked ones, I know that people fight for the half cooked ones. So they like because it's always the ones that are like fully cooked and they're really big and expanded. They're always the ones left over. Yeah, and I know what they look like. This is how fucked up it's gotten.
oh my God.
I can literally, because they're a little bit more squarer. You can tell, when they've like packaged them to like cook them with the dough, so they look more square.
Because they're less cooked.
Correct.
Yeah.
So they're the good ones.
That
So
makes
the
sense.
chef was in a rush or the baker was in a rush
Yeah.
that day and got
So
them
they're
out
a
to
bit
I
us.
more
almost want to go
dense.
up to him and be like, "Hey, brother, it's about 10 minutes less. They're good."
Slip him a 50.
Save me a few bags.
Yeah.
Same time
Yeah,
tomorrow
yeah.
morning. See you then.
Oh,
Cash. I'll pay cash.
absolutely.
The Maltese in him
I'm in a
comes out.
spot. I'm in a spot, but I
So-
might. So the abundance theory doesn't work, by the way. So having more of them doesn't make you want less.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, we've disproven that.
Yeah. That,
We had it with
Yeah,
Annie
with
on-
Annie. You're like, actually, I've eaten 24 this week alone, so it's not
Yeah.
working so
Yeah.
far.
doesn't work with Maxi Bonds either.
It was like,
Yeah,
for
that's it.
science, I will go further.
I'm literally doing this for everybody else's benefit. Like, snowplow.
So what are you gonna do in a week and a bit's time?
Stop eating them.
You're just done.
Well, that's the thing.
Cold turkey.
You can't,
Yeah,
eat,
well,
you can't
yeah.
eat less of them.
Well, the thing is, I can and I will.
No,
So-
I mean, you have to go from this amount to 0, not less.
Oh, correct. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's a trigger food.
Yeah.
So you can't have them in it. Because you can't buy one. Oh, well,
Yeah.
you can't actually. You know what? The one
At
flavor.
Baker's
Baker's
Delight, you can.
Delight.
The one flavor we forgot, bro. You got to have the sticky date. I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
Get
so
it.
they're
Gisborne Baker's
S-
Delight. Get yourself ready.
S tier.
I might come back to powerlifting just
There-
so I can eat
if there was
buns.
a tier between original and original chocolate even,
And
if there was a
cinnamon.
tier between them and apple and cinnamon, sticky dates in the middle.
Ooh.
Yeah,
That good.
yeah. But I know Ben would really like.
I like a
I love sticky date.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, you might like them instead of the apple ones. You might like them better than the. They're pretty good because
I'm-
it's also the bun.
It's like half of my fucking calories for the day at the moment, but I might have to fuck around and find
You
out.
can't think about the. Can't
Yeah.
think about the
It's only,
calories.
there's not many weeks left.
How many calories in a hot cross bun? I think it's like 300.
That's
260.
in one.
260.
Bro, it's a whole Maxi Bond.
Yeah.
Probably
I'm
2.
going to have a whole box of Maxi Bond. That has just broken my brain now thinking that you've had 24.
Yeah, but I've eaten like 4,000 calories a day. So,
That's where I've just understood. the
so how I
context of
balance the meal
situation.
out is I have a protein shake.
Yeah, of course.
So it's a balanced meal.
Yeah, so the issue I've been having.
I've
with,
also eat normal food. Like if you've tuned into my Instagram, a lot of chicken.
do
and
eat
rice.
I eat a lot of chicken and rice.
my theory was like, I usually have an allotment for snacky foods
Okay.
after dinner. And my theory was, well, Maxi Bond's 300 calories. That's about what I had, like 250, 300. It's like, that's fine.
That's not too bad.
But the issue is, I still have the other thing.
Yeah.
The Maxi Bonds are
It's like,
I just
staple.
don't adhere to my diet.
Yeah, because it's like, I grab Amy, like, she's a big fan of the, this is a good question, the raspberry shortbreads, shortcakes,
Yeah.
harnets.
I don't biscuit unless I hang out with you guys.
Man,
So-
this is a fucking bomb.
I don't.
So hot cross
neither.
buns from Woolies and Coles range from pretty much from 2 to 250 per bun.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
that's
all
right. Your boy already had that unlock.
That's
And the
not
apple
that
and
bad.
cinnamon ones have less fat in them
Yeah, right.
For the win.
because they've got fruit in it.
Health.
Health, balance.
I'm a make
Jace,
it work for
Get a little
pre-workout
bit closer.
Yeah, try one.
today. I've got deadlifts today, so on the way
Send
home, I'll go to Baker's Delight if it's open.
You got to get one.
155 on the cards now.
I already got 155 last week.
Yeah. Don't worry about your weight class
Yeah,
either.
160.
Forget about it.
Yeah.
Once you have that first.
Weight
sticky
moves,
date-
mate. Let's go.
Annie,
Absolutely.
Annie, your coach did this to me.
Ben's next powerlifting prep. Haagen-Dazs for hot cross buns.
Yeah. Or both.
Haagen-Dazs in hot cross
I
buns.
was alternating. I was doing Haagen-Dazs one night, and then I was doing a packet of peckish with beetroot dip the next night. But the apple hot cross buns have fruit in it, so I don't need the beetroot dip, so I can just have hot cross buns.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You know how bad this got? This has gotten.
This is not helping Jace.
I made cream of rice this morning, and then I thought about putting the hot cross
Oh,
buns
in
in it. Because I was like, how can I get these two in the same meal? So then,
I would,
so then you know
Air
what it-
fry it.
I would be eating that meal on the toilet.
I literally, I ate it. So what I did is I ate the hot cross buns whilst I made the cream rice.
Yeah. Was it the same though? I feel like
I feel
you're
like
in
it would have
a.
been better.
I feel like you're in a too.
I'm in a vortex. A
You'd
hot
be-
cross
The
bun
hot
vortex.
cross buns are too plentiful for you, and you've lost.
I'm in a,
Yeah.
To
I'm in a,
sit down, to really
appreciation
sit
of them.
down with 2 hot cross buns and go,
They
I'm gonna
can't
just
savor
enjoy
them.
this.
They
Yeah.
can't be a
I'm in a-
transitional food.
I'm in a hot cross bun bubble.
What about if you cut them up, like ripped them up as like croutons, put them in the air fryer,
It's
and
too
then
much
mix
effort.
that through?
It's too much effort.
Yeah, that sounded hard.
I would have rather just
It
eat
sounds
it.
delicious, but challenging.
I just want to eat the bun.
Too much friction.
How many bites does it take you to eat a hot cross bun?
Oh, 3.
Oh my god!
You're no longer eating a hot cross bun.
Welcome to the podcast,
Is this a
Michael.
fucking intervention, is it?
Yes, you brought this upon yourself,
Hey, you know
guys.
what?
I
You know
need
what?
to talk about hot cross buns.
Yeah, it's all in the name of research, and I'm now going to coin the hot cross bun bulking diet.
Yeah. Oh, do it.
Yeah,
sell it.
absolutely.
Yeah,
So
we're
you
rich now, guys.
We'll start the resource.
Get pipes like this,
We'll get it.
you know.
Yes,
I
please.
just had this weird
I
vision.
never got big arms until I started eating hot cross buns.
Just need 30 sets a week.
Every
and
week.
hot cross buns.
9 months a year, I'm always like so sad. That my arms are so small.
Oh my god.
Fucking hell.
So speaking of training,
Slay.
how we doing? How's the prep going?
Honestly, like perfectly.
Love that for
I
you.
can't even I don't even want to downplay it. I just want to ride the high while it's there. I've
How?
exceeded my my
Your
original
numbers?
comp goals. Yeah,
Love
yeah,
that.
I've done it.
It's literally perfect.
Where are we going? Can we give out finer details like timelines? Like how long you got?
A month
Nice.
today.
Location, time.
Yeah,
No, a month today.
Wait till
actually.
2 weeks. It's like it's this time, this location.
Nah, everyone thought I would have cracked by now.
To be fair,
Yeah.
I thought you would have said
No,
something,
I just
yeah.
really don't want people there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I keep doing? And if anyone actually listens to this, they'll know. But if I don't want someone there, I'm like, oh, don't worry, just come to nationals.
Because you have to fly interstate
It's
for it.
interstate.
Yeah.
No, everything's going really, really well. 127.5 kilo squat, 77.5 kilo bench, and 155 kilo deadlift, which
Beast.
is 360 kilo total, which is 6 times body weight, which is
Oops.
all I ever wanted. So
Wild.
Now the fun begins.
we made it. Now,
Yeah.
now I actually don't care because I know that I can show up on comp day and get what I originally wanted.
Mm.
And that's it.
Yeah.
So the pressure's off me now. I've hit it in the gym. I don't
perform even better then.
Well,
We'll
and
see.
the secondary goal was to find fun in powerlifting again.
That was the big one. That was to go into this with not low expectations because I'm not a low expectation person. I walked into this qualifying for nationals, right? I'd never had low expectations, but I just wanted to fall back in love with that process again, and it's been so fun. After remembering how to squat, bench, and deadlift again, so probably the last time I was on, it was everything was clicking again. Whereas now, just it's just stuck, and I benched 77 this week, not easily, but it wasn't.
It's very clean.
It didn't look as hard as it should have.
Yeah.
And I've done it twice now, 2 weeks in a row.
So it wasn't a fluke.
So yeah,
it's a thing,
so I'm
yeah.
okay, cool. This is a thing. I can do this, and I thought 80 kilo bench was such a big goal, and I'm oh, I could probably touch and go that
Yeah.
right now. So yeah, it's pretty, it's surreal and it's fun and it's low pressure because Ben's just well, you need to just keep showing up and ticking the boxes and doing the thing, and Annie's looking after my food. So I'm very,
Good team.
yeah, we,
Good
We
team.
actually celebrate when you do the thing. It
Yeah.
helps too.
yeah, literally celebrating and not having a coach. I think it's always good to look forward and say what's next, but you have to celebrate what you're actually doing.
I think there's a lot of powerlifters that once they've posted the PB, it's life sucks again.
Yeah.
Until the next 5 minutes that you're happy about the PB again, and then that's why we make them up all the time.
Oh, yeah.
5 rep,
Beltless,
43
raw.
degree,
Yeah, I get it.
85% humid because
Because you're chasing them anyway.
I'm
right?
only happy when I've hit a PB.
Yeah. And that's why I'm
Beltless, summer, midnight,
Stiff bar.
stiff bar.
literally.
That actually makes
Volume.
so much
Bumper
sense
plate.
with all the
Volume.
ADHD symptoms in powerlifters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. and like I'm trying my best to just like, I actually don't have to go up every single week.
Yeah.
I actually can just do a lift better. And this week,
Yeah.
I didn't go up in my squat. I went backwards because I had 3 hours sleep. And I was
Did a
like,
technique day.
yeah.
Working on your
Focusing on
speed.
form
Working
today.
on the mind muscle
Working
connection.
on your speed. Yeah.
Someone's simply not strong enough to control a load. I misgrooved it.
Need more speed work, man.
Powerlifting's the best.
But it's been fun. This week, speaking of beltless, this, that, the other, I just picked up 110 kilos and I RDL'd it for easy reps this week. Can we please talk about how fucking cool that is? That's better than 155 kilo deadlift.
Beast.
Yeah. Yeah. Any wonder your glutes are growing.
Yeah, it's beast.
No shit. Slay.
It's funny, like we have been having that conversation about like whether you should just do the heavy or do the specialization thing. I was thinking about this when I was training yesterday. I was watching a guy the other week have like a box that he was like bent over with his elbows on, and the setup took ages and was awkward just to like do some tricep extensions.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And yesterday I was like,
Could
right,
even do a dip.
I had a superset that was like straight bar, and it was 2 bicep exercises, and I wanted to add extra triceps, so I swapped one of them. So I was like, straight bar, press down, straight bar, curl, done.
Yeah.
It's like, you
Yeah.
don't need to. It doesn't need to be fancy. Like
No.
Yeah.
most people
Could you not like,
playing
just get
with that.
somewhere else, though?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Push
It's
it.
just like
Yeah.
you don't need that much nuance when you're not strong yet.
No.
And then, like,
this
you
is
look at-
Jason's favorite topic.
You look at Jess's physique progress. It's just like just got stronger, and like we have accessory movements with intent to look better,
Yeah.
but they're still lift heavier. They're fundamental. There's no like party tricks in it.
I'm going to do a post and I'm like so excited about it because it's like it's a content series I've been thinking about. Lifting heavy made me bulky.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be a whole thing about how I've gotten bulkier. My ass is fatter. my delta. But like, yes, lifting heavy is going to make you bulkier.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I've gone up a dress size and I fucking just, it's harder to get this like 2 kilos down now. But like, I didn't gain 2 kilos, but you know, it's like, it's going to make you bulkier. Can you just accept that that's not the devil? Like,
Yeah, being big is okay.
correct. So like, there's a whole like thing in there and I can't wait to talk about it.
Yeah.
Cause it's like, I don't fit a few of my clothes anymore.
Yeah.
So-
I think you're like, because we've had a couple of conversations on the pod lately. Jess is like the archetype now where you would, at this level of strength, if you said before, like your physique is a representation of the target outcome, not the target outcome.
Yeah.
But you're in a position now where everything's in place that we could stop and go, okay, if you want to have a symmetrical physique that looked good, that appealed to a physique judge, now you could do all that nuancy shit.
Yeah.
That would matter
on
in
top.
that context. Yeah, versus what we've been talking about a lot is everyone going the other way.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like, I'm going to get on the step and do my cable kickback at this angle to target this part of the glutes. Like, go and fucking RDL 110 kilos.
Yeah.
And your glutes will grow
And then add the layer on top.
after that.
And then, like, because right now, like, growing my glutes isn't my priority. It's just, like, squatting heavy a couple times a week, deadlifting heavy a couple times a week, and some lunges in there. But, like, yeah, 100%. If I, like, wanted to make that my focus, it would be the kickbacks. It would be the little things
Stairmaster.
that with ankle weights.
Backwards.
Sure. Sure.
But... And that will be fun, and there will be a time for that, and that will be like after powerlifting, and I'll be like, cool,
Life
let's
after powerlifting,
compete in nationals, and then be like, Jason, roast my physique.
I don't think you can take that heat.
You know what? If I make it to nationals and I do all right, my
won't
ego
roast
will
it.
be out here, and I'll need it.
I won't roast it. Not at all.
If she says.
If I can't be that arrogant, but I will be.
Who knows who shows up this year? Who knows?
Exactly right. I can't-
Well,
I can't
you have
control.
to keep that in mind, right? Like
Yeah.
you and I mean, you coach competitors too. Like, you can't dictate who rocks up.
Well, how, like, literally, like, context. I have been, like, talking to one of my athletes that's competing in, like, 3 weeks. And the only goal has been for her to take out the national record for deadlift. And I was like, last Saturday, I was like, you realize that can't be your pass or fail target, because you don't get to control what that is.
What the record is.
You
yeah.
can only be as strong as you are, and if that is not near the record. And she's like, true. I was like, so I need you to go away and tell me what a good day looks like, what a bad day looks like.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that so we can get into the right mindset before we get to competition. This week it got updated from 186 to 220 kilo deadlift.
Whoa.
Yep. And she was like, okay, I'm really glad we had that conversation.
Yeah.
Because
like,
that would have crushed the rest of
absolutely.
Yeah.
And like, it doesn't matter how strong you are. It literally, I can PB every single lift and not podium at nationals.
Yeah.
And it could have gotten me a first last year. Doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about powerlifting. If you can be, well, I guess, no, bodybuilding's exactly the same. Like
You can't, yeah. there's
you can
people
still bring the absolute
Whoever stands
best.
next to you.
Exactly.
There's
It
people who
doesn't,
lift the weights for like 20 years and then they just go, I'll do a show.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you got someone who's lifted weights for 4 years.
Yeah.
You gotta have more muscle.
Oh, and just like someone that just played football and was bigger than you anyway.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah, I remember when one of
Wild.
my clients competed and she was a novice. She's like, how the fuck is this person a novice? I'm like, it's the first time
they've
they've competed, not
Yeah.
the first time they've
They
ever
lifted.
lifted weights.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
she's lifted for 20 years. You can see it. Like, she's
Yeah.
got really mature muscle. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
My last meet, I was sort of keeping an eye on because my goal when I started powerlifting was to make nationals.
Yeah.
We can't all do it in 12 weeks. So I was like, okay, so I need to sort of looking at who was going to be in at the meet, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I could be on for a podium here. It was on dots. I was like, this could be on here. 10 days out, Anthony Krusner entered. I think he totaled 9:10. And then,
was that when he was taking it easy? Was that one?
yeah, he just showed off for fun.
Yeah,
He
yeah, I
totaled
remember that.
like
Like,
900.
take it easy.
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah,
disgusting.
Will's going to yell at me because
Yeah.
if I lift too heavy.
Yeah.
And then some guy deadlifted, I'm pretty sure it was 6 times body weight.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I saw that.
It was like the
Yeah,
first
we
time.
watched that.
Yeah,
That was incredible.
first time in Australia someone's deadlifted
Yeah.
6 times body weight. So his like deadlift total was like pretty close to my total.
Took up a lot.
It's
yeah,
like, yeah, just like do a squat and you'll
Yeah.
be fine. And like I tell my clients this all the time. It's like I was on track for my first medal ever in powerlifting and 2 of Australia's best
Lifting.
ever walked in the door a week before.
Yeah.
So it's like if your metric is whether it's qualifying or a podium or whatever it is, like you're opening yourself up to a lot of disappointment for no reason.
Literally.
Because
It's wrong motivations.
I still PB'd and had a phenomenal day.
Yep.
And ended up I would have gone, but lockdown.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
I think it's the wrong motivation for most people, not
Yeah.
everyone.
once you're at the top,
Because if you're competitive,
if you're Anthony Krusner, it's worth it.
yeah, because then
Yeah.
you're like, I'm going for the
Yeah.
the all-time total fucking
Yeah.
deadlift record, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think for people, it's they've done a couple of meets, and
Yeah.
it's good to have targets, but it should be personal targets.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
nice to break a record, but-
Especially like who you're the same. Who we coach, most of them are less than 3 meets.
yeah, that's
It's like
kind of still finding your
yeah,
feet
unless
a
you're a
bit.
freak. Like
yeah.
yeah, I think if you start to project numbers when you're like top 5 at Nats.
Yeah,
It's
if,
like
if
now
you're in the
let's start
conversation,
to-
it's the same with bodybuilding. It's like if you place or if you say you come first in your division, but maybe not the overall,
Yeah.
it's like, cool, we're going for that this time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Or if you were 5th and you just, or you got your participation medal and you're like, I want a placing.
Yeah.
And if you got a placing, I just want a better one. Like, that's totally
Yeah.
fine.
And it's also timeline dependent too. Like I
Yeah.
sound like I'm my brain is fucked. Contradicting myself by saying when I started powerlifting, it's like I wanted to go to nationals. I didn't care how long that took.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
well,
it took 5 years.
I think like interject as well because like I completely agree, but I'm sitting here like, yeah, I'm just doing this comp to qualify for nationals and blah 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 blah. But it's like my actual metric for this competition is I wanted to make it through my prep without crying. Like
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. Like
Yeah.
I just wanted to be proud of myself in this prep.
Yeah.
So like now I don't care what I put. If I make it there on the day
Yeah.
and I get my openers,
Yeah.
that's it.
We're on.
Yeah.
Like
And you have
enjoying
fun and yeah.
the process was
Even,
the number
like,
one.
Competing with your brother is gonna be sick.
Oh my God. Like I was talking to my mum about it this morning. She's like, am I allowed to watch you compete? And I was like, yeah, mum, it's fine. It's fine. You can, I'll allow it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'm going to be there on the day Like, it's going to be really cool, like, because you've known my history with powerlifting. So, like, we get to experience that together. I get to watch my little brother compete for the first time.
Not so
Yeah,
little
it's
brother
cool.
at the moment. Christ.
He's not, I mean, my brother is like 6'3" and like just not
And
little.
getting bigger every week.
Amazing.
He's actually training hard.
Yeah.
Like, that's
He's very
why.
strong.
Using the genetics.
Very strong.
Genetics.
Yeah.
No, one thing that I was going to say, like, if I circle back to what you were saying before about bodybuilding, and like, I don't know if like whoever listens to this, but like roast me, whatever. Nothing frustrates me more than when someone is a first timer and they're like training for that pro card.
Yeah, you can't. You
That
can't,
just makes me sad.
Yeah.
That makes me sad. I'm like, can you just make it and feel like you did a good, like,
Yeah.
do it and go through it? And why are you already going for like the top?
Like honestly, it's a symptom of what we talk about all the time is seeing the loudest, brightest examples that are the 1%. So if you look at like that one person that got their pro card, right?
Yeah.
And I'll use the pro league for an example, like Nick Walker, like got his pro card, won the New York Pro, won the Arnold Classic, made the Olympia, came third, whatever, within like 2 years. So everyone's just like, sick,
Yeah.
I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
Little do they know that most, like I was talking to a guy at the gym, and we were just talking about like how, that attitude of like, I'm going to be a professional at the sport. And I think we said like most competitors don't even make pro, and then the ones that do, I think, what do we say? They did like 30 plus shows to potentially, so 30
To get the card.
to potentially get a
Wow.
card.
Yeah.
And some people compete for like 15 years and never get one.
Yeah.
And it's because
So
you can't rock up. You don't know who's going to be next to you on the day. So you can kind of obviously try.
Is it two things? Is it a symptom of a naivety around the genetic dependence of strength and physique sports that I'm going to tick, I'm going for that pro card is just, I'm going to tick every single
Yeah,
box
that's what I was going to say.
and do the best that I can. If I do that, then I deserve a pro card.
Oh, sorry.
So there's there's naivety there
get
to be
it.
like, yeah, but you're going to stand next to Hattie.
Well, sometimes I agree with that, and I think that sentiment is very true. And then sometimes I think that like it's also them just saying like, I'm going to give this everything I've got.
Yeah.
You know, irrespective of the fact, like, you know, because like, let's be real, like a lot of things have to line up for you to become a professional. Like, because there's even professional, like quote unquote, like pro bodybuilders, and they never compete in the pro league.
Yeah.
You know, but they needed the goal. You know, it's like you know, it's easy to get to the top than stay at the top. So that's why when you see a champion and they've kind of taken that spot and made it their own, it's like there's a lot more respect to that because you know, kind of having the hunt is what they needed to stick to the diet, all that kind of stuff. So maybe for some people, like the status of having the pro card or wanting it is what they need to show up every day.
Yeah.
So that's where it's hard to go as the coach and be like, hey, you know, you have to be genetically, like, you don't want to kind of, but it also you have to manage their expectations, right?
So then the flip side of it is, do you have to have that mentality to get it?
Yeah, and is
Does
that the
Nick
only
Walker
mentality?
go like, so Ronnie's story, come and compete and I'll give you a free gym membership.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And he became the
The
greatest, ever.
yeah.
So it's like, so that answers that question. No, you don't have to
Absolutely not.
believe, you don't have to start out thinking you'll be the best in the world to be the best in the world.
But then it's like process driven versus outcome driven as well.
Right.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And the problem is when they start getting frustrated at the outcomes.
Outcomes.
Not getting, yeah.
Yeah. So the only way you can get frustrated is if like you didn't give it everything you got, something happened on the day that maybe you couldn't control, or you know, whatever. It's like you can get frustrated at those things.
Yeah.
But you can't get frustrated at the fact that someone showed up next to you and was bigger than you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or leaner than you, or leaner you probably might, you
Yeah.
know, because you know you could have potentially suffered a little bit more. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's just some things that you can't control, and it's the same when you guys go to your meet. It's like if someone rocks up in your weight class and like just fucking towels everyone in terms of load, it's like you can't get upset with that.
Yeah.
It's
No.
just like, were you better did you perform the way you expected? If you didn't, do you know why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
now you can go again and make sure you're better.
I think I'll use your circling back.
Circling back.
I agree with your statement of like, it hurts when you see someone do that. And like
Yeah.
I've had clients that are like, the relationships actually dissolved because they were like nationals. I'm like, and it's like, have a look at national standard.
Yeah.
Like it's not just because you know someone who did like what you said,
Yeah.
showed up first time,
Yeah.
then next time they competed. So like did a practice comp, did a comp, qualified, went to
Yeah.
nationals. Like just because you saw that once is not how it works.
No.
Like that's
Yeah.
just a person who had it.
It's the one that stands out the most too.
Yeah.
Like, because there's you don't pay attention to
Yeah, all
everyone
the ones
else that didn't make it, or it's their third or fourth time trying.
Yeah.
You only pay attention to the one that takes the path of
Yeah.
like
Or
everyone. Like I posted the other day. I'm like, it's kind of the same sentiment. It's like everyone wants to skip the struggle,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but no one wants to pay attention to it either.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they only want to pay attention to
Yeah.
like the best case
And that's
scenario.
Yeah. And the person I was thinking of that did it also had 3 years in the gym, never missing a day.
Yeah.
Before
Yeah.
they decided to use a barbell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not again, it's the novice comp that wasn't a novice, you know what I mean?
Correct.
So yeah, it's as the coach, I think you have to set those expectations, just like cutting the house down next door or something.
I know, yeah.
I thought it was a
I
car.
thought that was over like
Yeah.
earlier, but yeah, obviously not.
So yeah, you have to. I reckon I've lost clients in the past from saying that
Absolutely.
and just being like, "I'm not going to promise you
Yeah.
any outcome.
Yeah,
I'm not going to promise you nationals. Not
Just-
going to promise you records.
the only thing you promise is that you'll be better.
correct.
Yeah.
And I'm consistently going to try and pull you away from that and have you focus
Yeah.
on process driven, not outcome driven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, because it's like it's the person that posts like going for the pro card
Yeah.
that only trains hard in prep
Yes. And I think
and then falls off the face of the planet for 6 months after comp and then like, oh, I'm prepping again.
Yeah, or said sport wasn't for me,
yeah.
because it messed me up.
Yeah. I think that's like I have lifted with a barbell for 9-ish
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
Like I walked into a gym aside from like the cardio phase. I walked into a gym, played with machines for maybe like a month or so, and I was like, no, I want to do that.
Yeah.
And I deadlifted 80 kilos, and I was like, that's fun. I need to do 100 now. And like that was it. Like I've just always been drawn to the barbell.
Yeah.
But like it's been 9 years of that. I competed for a couple years at the start, but in between, aside from when I had a child, it's like you just don't stop throwing everything at what you're trying to achieve anyway, whether it's run 5Ks or whether it's get a vertical jump or whatever, like just throwing it all in there because
You pointed at me, and I just like here or
but like being like having these conversations where it's like, oh, like, what do you mean you've only been using a barbell for like, what do you mean you've only been like squatting again for a couple of months? It's like, yeah I was front squatting 100 kilos. It wasn't a comp squat.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't like, it's just, yeah. But then it's the person that lacks training.
Yeah.
And then
And it's again.
it's again.
It's still there. It's not, it didn't go
This
away.
is Jason's favorite topic
You
at the moment.
were split squatting the 50s or something ridiculous.
Don't be silly. 60.
Yeah, okay. I undershot you twice today. Fuck, you know.
shit, coach.
I just don't want to like.
He doesn't want to pump my ego anymore.
I just want to gas her up anymore.
Yeah, yeah, but it sounds worse if the coach is
Keeping
like,
it grounded.
Yeah,
if I went over, it would sound worse. It's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
he's like trying to talk.
Yeah, it was like,
around.
well, you split squat like 70.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, actually,
Yeah.
I'm weak.
Yeah,
I'm weak. And then you go home like thinking you're a failure.
yeah, I only
Yeah,
did
literally.
60, and Ben thought I
Literally
should
what
do
would
70.
Yeah.
Yes,
But-
yes. Process over outcome always.
yeah.
Absolutely.
For consistency, you'll get better outcomes, and your mental health will be much improved.
Does anyone know when we started?
We got 37 minutes left.
Oh, I'd love that for us.
Yeah.
Slay.
All right. So it's Q&A day, but
Let's
we've already
go.
used half an hour.
Let's go.
So we're going to punch through some
yeah,
questions.
and I made heaps of statements.
Ben gave me a bunch of topics / statements, not questions. So I'm going to, how about I'll ask a question and then you can
I'll make a statement.
You can make a question out of your statements after my question.
Perfect.
All right. So first question I'm going to ask.
Actually, Jason, sorry. Can I do this one because it's directly correlated to what we just talked about?
We've talked about Jess enough. No, you can. Of course you can.
So something that
Wait a sec.
that I get a lot, and Jess is one of them, and Laura's one of the other ones. That people are just like, I want to look or be or as strong as or lift like.
C-bum.
Yeah.
Did you put me and C-bum in the same category?
Well, when you said
that was a big leap.
When you said all that, I'm just like, cool, I get it.
I want to be that guy.
I just want to be Ronnie Coleman. Cool.
So, yeah, what would you say to that lifter?
I think that it is important to have, in some instances, for people who need it, other people who inspire them, that and give them quote unquote hope.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's nice to see someone do the thing you want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it's even nicer to see someone who's a little bit closer to you do the thing.
Yeah.
So if you see the best of the best, you're like, probably not really that relatable, but kind of awesome at the same time.
Yeah.
But then, if you see someone who's a little closer to home, like a client of yours, and you're a client of that group as well, the only thing I would say is that you need it to be a healthy kind of dose of motivation and inspiration. Yeah. It can't be like, I can expect to get the same results as that person, because it's not just predicated on like how you show up and how often. It's also predicated on like, how you're made, genetically. And, we spoke about it in the past, and as much as I can tell you guys, like, I'm a terrible bodybuilder and all of that stuff, and Jess can't believe it.
We think you have an amazing physique, Jess.
And Jess can't believe it. Jess thinks I'm amazing.
Yeah, which is awesome. So I'm going to hang out with people like Jess, who are like, you're pretty big, man.
Hot cross bum pump. What?
Hell yeah. But yeah, I know there's people out there that are just like, if I was like, once I do this much, I'll look like this person, I'm going to be extremely disappointed. And I used to think that way. Like, I don't know if you ever bought the supplements, like the test boosters and shit. And the guy
on the front.
And I'm like, I used to be like, I can't wait to look like that.
Yeah.
And then it's like, if you always just gauge it off that, it's like, you're going to be extremely disappointed.
I had Steve Cook was my
oh my God.
ambition.
Not a bad physique.
Yeah.
Not a bad physique.
Yeah.
Rate it.
I think like I had this conversation literally last night. Like I organized a check-in call with one of my clients because I was like, you need a little bit of extra love. Like, let's have a chat. And it was like very based off the same thing. Like, how come yada yada can do blah, blah, blah. So like I had to like strip it back to it was like, first of all, addressing the fact that we're all made up differently. And like, yes, there's that. And like, so-and-so would have a fat ass even if she never touched a barbell in her life. But then the other part is like, well, rather than trying to like put everything in or put everything on how she looks or how she performs, why don't we start by ticking the same daily boxes of habits? So like, it's going to look different but it's going to be like, okay, cool. So even if you do all of these things based on genetic makeup, the outcome's going to look different. But rather than being the person that does the things to look like that, how would you feel if you were the person that did the things?
Yeah.
Would you feel better about looking at yourself in the mirror if you knew that yesterday you got 7 hours of sleep, that you pre-planned your protein for the day, that you knew that your meal timing was good so that you weren't going to get hungry at 7 p.m. and after she eats dinner early. But like, like going through all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hitting your steps. It doesn't even have to be 10,000, but if you know that you hit 8,000 steps every single day because you said you were going to, blah, blah, blah. Like, I feel like that would help.
Yeah.
And it's very rarely, and then it becomes like a whole other thing, like people that do that and still don't look like that. But for the most part, people aren't generally ticking the boxes, so they feel really self-conscious about their lack of effort.
Yeah.
And then that is reflected upon their reflection, and they're like, well, I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But that's also because like internally they know that they're not doing what they need to be the person that they want to be.
Yeah. It's worse to be not doing the thing.
Yeah.
Because you're internalizing, I'm not doing the thing, And then when I try and do the thing, I don't look like them, and then I'm
Yeah.
not doing the thing.
And
It becomes,
And it becomes
this fucking,
a
festering mess versus the person that is doing all the things, like we said, and just gets to the point where it's like,
Yeah, you just got to run your
why
own
the fuck
race.
do they look like that?
Yeah.
But yeah, my response was literally like, my coaching answer to this question was aspire to their habits.
Yeah.
Of course.
It's almost like we speak the same language.
Funny that. Like, just, yeah, what do they do on a daily basis? And I get it. I think one of the traps, is it a trap? I don't know. And I say this to you all the time, like, the amount of times when I don't want to do something, and even more now when I'm like, because I'm parent tired also. But before that, I was like, fucking hell, Jess gets this done, she has a kid.
Oh.
And it's like, shut the fuck up. Like, it's so much harder than, like, oh no, work's busy. Like, work's busy and a kid. That is like a big driver. But then I guess the flip side of that is people see, well, Jess is a mum, and Jess is relatable, and Jess is super bubbly and friendly, and she doesn't seem far away.
Oh my God, I'm not going to be able to fit out of the door.
Why is she achieving?
We got to do this when you come in.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
You've got to get you coming back, you know?
Why is she achieving outcomes that seem so disproportionate to what I am?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, you miss the 9 years of effort. You miss the 5 a.m. sessions. You miss the
It's the
perfect meals
The middle.
for exceptional periods of time. You miss the fact that her brother's transformation in the last 4 months. It's like, there's some goodies in there that
Yeah.
you have some access to.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take away from your work ethic, but it's like there's a lot of things going into that 190 kilo deadlift. I won't shoot now.
Oh, you piece of shit. It was only 155.
So yeah, it's aspiring to the habits
Absolutely.
and letting go of the outcomes, because you'll feel awesome about yourself
100%.
doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, and just like work on being better yourself.
That's
Yeah,
literally-
you can't like you'll expire in your hobbies, every
Yeah.
hobby, if you just
Wanna be
look
the
for a result that someone else does and tries to match it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like show up, become bigger, stronger, leaner, faster, whatever it is that you want to do in your goals, and just make sure you're working towards being a better version of yourself. And you can look to these people for inspiration, of course, and because they are quote unquote inspirational when you look at how they behave. It's amazing to have people like that. So don't not look for people like that, but just don't think that you're going to get the same thing as them.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I'll add to that is, I'm going to steal from Chris again, because I've got to do that once a week at least.
Yeah.
Is your heroes aren't special. They are just people that have dedicated themselves to one particular outcome at the cost of everything else.
Yeah.
So what, again, they don't want to look at the struggle.
We don't. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
It's like, well,
you don't see it either.
What is, and like Nick Walker may be a bad example, I don't know, but it's like, what's their relationships like? What's their job like? What's their family life like? Spread that across the whole like wheel, and we don't want to use the term balance, but like there's other
Are you willing to
factors in life
Are you
as well.
willing to sacrifice and not have what they don't have in order to have what they do have?
Yeah, and we just had the conversation at the cafe. Like, I was just like, there's nothing on the table right now that could make me stick to a meal plan.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
no. And you guys are in the position where you're like, yes, it's the holiday, it's the comp, it's whatever. This is enough for me to.
Hot cross bun diets for 10 more days, but yes. After that, I've said it out on the internet. I'm following my meal plan.
All right, your turn, Jess. I'll shut up now.
I've got a few. Quick break in the episode, guys. If you're looking for more information on how you can look, feel, and perform better, head over to our website. Take advantage of all of the content that we have there. Even the YouTube channel, there's plenty of videos and stuff on there. Also, rotating free resources that you guys can access completely free. Okay, let's get back to the episode. Does adding more muscle increase your metabolism, and is it worth going down that route? Fire. I know the answer to this question.
Not as much as you think.
And I know everyone has a certain stance on it. I will let you guys answer first before I answer.
Not as much as you think it does.
Yep. What would you say, Jess?
It's not going to allow you to eat the extra calories that you really think it's going to, but it's not literally not as much as you think. It just depends on the context it was asked.
Well, if you're looking to manage your body composition and some people are saying adding more muscle increases your metabolism, like am I now going down the route of trying to increase my muscle mass to do that?
No. No. Just to increase the amount that you eat, then it's not going to do as much as you think it's going to do. It's going to have benefits of fire.
Is the context the goal is to be able to eat more at maintenance, or is the goal like?
All I got in the question though. Okay. I can't dictate. Do you want me to call him up?
Put him on.
Yeah.
Phone a friend, Tam.
Yeah.
In the context of if your goal is fat loss, and the angle is that building more muscle is going to increase my metabolism. Sure. It's not going to increase it as much as you think, but it's not going to decrease it the way that losing muscle would. Mm-hmm. So if you did a cardio-based, low-calorie, low-protein diet and lost a lot of muscle, that'd probably be a significant difference in energy balance post-diet, which then would negatively impact your long-term sustainability of that diet. Yeah. So if my goal was fat loss, then I would be training to preserve as much muscle mass as possible. You're totally newbie, maybe gain some. But it's not going to be, now I can eat a Maxi Bon every night. Yeah. Or 24 hot cross buns.
Sorry, guys. Can't look like this and eat hot cross buns every day.
If you're thinking, I'll just build more muscle and then I'll just lose fat because I'll be able to eat more food because I'll have more muscle, it's unlikely.
Yeah. Go.
So with my clients, I'll always want them to be gaining more muscle because generally I get a lot of women that are kind of new to...
Yeah, more muscle's fun anyway.
Yeah, literally. More muscle is going to solve most of the problem.
More muscle, life good.
Yeah. Everything better. More muscle, generally, they're going to have more food. But it's not just the increase in metabolism that you're going to be burning more calories, but it's you know what, you're going to be able to push harder in your session, which will actually burn more calories. If that's if that's your metric and that's what you care about.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's going to affect it in a lot of other ways. But what's your answer, Mr. Galea?
To answer them directly with their question, does adding muscle increase your metabolism? It does. But it only increases it by 13 calories per kilo of muscle.
I knew you'd know the number.
And it is not, and that's at rest, obviously. And so it's not it's not an advantageous thing to pursue with that thing in mind.
So for context, for most new lifters, first year muscle gain.
Oh, what?
5
to
10?
5?
I was thinking female to male.
Sorry, males can experience 5 to 10.
Yeah.
Kilos in that first year. Yeah, probably 3 to 5, maybe a tiny bit more.
Yeah.
And then, so...
Woohoo, 60 calories.
That's saying... Yeah, and that's saying it's only muscle.
Yeah.
And it's not. And then fat obviously has an energy requirement as well, which I think is around half or a third of that. Yeah. 4 calories or something like that. Or maybe 7. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The thing that is a problem for me anyway is the idea of you can increase your metabolic capacity anyway. Yeah. And I don't actually believe that it can be done. So people talk about
reverse dieting and stuff.
Well, they talk about increasing their calorie base before they start a diet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All they're doing is either moving more to eat more to balance the energy equation again. So they think they've got a higher calorie budget, but it's you're just moving more.
Correct.
Or they have chronically under-eaten and never eaten to the point where they're actually physically able to maintain their weight on the amount of food that they should have.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then either way, and I spoke, were you at the fat loss workshop? You were. I even used Steph as the example, and I was like, I bet you always end up at the same amount of calories at the same amount of weeks out from your comps.
Yeah.
And she said yes.
Yeah.
She said it's very close. And I said, so it doesn't matter where you start, generally. You, in most cases, will always end up at the same amount.
Yeah.
So then it's like a marketing strategy.
Yeah.
So I always I always get a bit of a I don't know, an amber light, not a red flag or anything. It's why are you using that as the marketing strategy? The thing that I can support is if you had more muscle and you had more muscle, you can do more with it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So you can
lift more.
Yeah, and you can do like,
Yeah.
you can do output conditioning sessions. And
Yeah.
like you said before, like the density of energy that you could burn in a period of time could be greater because you have the capacity to do so. So I can absolutely support that, direction if someone wanted to take it.
So that 13 calories.
Yep.
Is that at rest?
Correct.
So theoretically, if I put on 5 kilos, that's like 65 calories or whatever. Like it's fuck all.
Yeah.
But carrying that extra 5 kilos
Moving it.
for 8,000 steps for 4 gym sessions a week.
Yeah.
Is that them starting to become a significant enough?
Yeah.
Like, hey, I get, because like if I'm tiny,
Agreed.
If Jess is 60 kilos and goes to 65,
Yeah, I understand.
that's a substantial, nearly 10% gain.
Absolutely. So it does obviously scale.
Yeah.
I don't think it is that when you look at just like the energy expended for the activity, it still doesn't marry up with other things that are more efficient.
I agree.
So if you're just looking at it from straight up energy expenditure, however, like you said, if you're small and you've put on size, it's going to become less significant the bigger you are.
I use Jess as an example. It's like I started 58 kilos, went to 100. Like I had to eat 4,500 calories.
When I say small, I mean that as in like there's people out there that are 140 kilos. Like,
It's fine, guys. It's
like
fine.
not Jack.
I'm the biggest small person. It's fine. I got it.
I mean that with the most respect ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, like even I've got a client who's like 48 kilos.
Yeah.
So there's no reason why we couldn't get up to 55.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, for
But
someone...
she's going to be able to eat more food.
Absolutely. Her maintenance may go from 1,700 to 1,840 or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, which I think... Yeah, it's still making a hero out of a side benefit.
Absolutely.
So if you think about this, if there's 2 ways to go to the gym and lose weight, and one of them is do cardio, eat not much. Lose fat, lose muscle at the same rate, 50-50, which is pretty common if you're taking that approach. You're losing 10, say even if it's activity-wise, like what you, after rest, it's 20 calories per kilo.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you've lost 100 calories of output through that process. If you did it with weight training, arguably the time would be exactly the same. The fat loss would be exactly the same. You would look better, you'd be stronger, you perform better, your health would be better. All the things that you actually want from the lifestyle change
Yeah.
are going to be more successful if you're lifting weights and maintaining, if not building muscle.
Yeah.
So, yes, cool, there's maybe 100 calorie output difference.
It's not that big of a...
And is 100 calories really the difference with your ability to keep the weight off or not?
Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
Or is it the fact that you're doing horrible HIIT sessions, barely eating any food, hating your fucking life?
It should just be
And
a
after
side...
3 months, you're like, oh, I've lost the dress size, don't want to do this anymore, but I still don't really like what's in the mirror and I still don't perform well.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, so it should be... How you approach your training should be a direct reflection of what you want to achieve. And then you're just matching up your nutrition to meet that.
Yeah.
So it's not like... It's like, oh, okay, so you want to look good naked. Let's make sure we do weight training so your metabolism is higher so you can manage your body composition better. It's like, okay, if you want to look a certain way, you got to weight train to develop that muscle.
Yeah.
And then if you want to expend energy, maybe have a healthy heart and lungs, let's do some cardio and then let's manage your energy, your diet.
Yeah.
There shouldn't really be like, oh, because we're going to do this. Like it's just like, fuck, if it happens, it happens. Who cares? Like, it's kind of like,
A side benefit of lifting weights is you won't decrease your metabolism, but it's not the reason to do it.
I agree. Love that for us.
Go team. Statement number 2.
Have you got a question/statement?
So I have a client who, and I don't know if you guys get this. Actually, you did it to me as well. That comes for like strength focus, maybe a little bit of hypertrophy, typical kind of clientele that we work with. And then they're like, hey, I just signed up to this thing. So this one's like, Jess was a strongman.
Yep.
Yep.
Been on do powerlifting. By the way, I'm doing a CrossFit strongman comp.
Yeah, in 6 weeks. Thanks. One of my clients signed up to a charity event. It's got to swim, run, bike. who came with the focus of strength training, where still have a high focus on the body composition, but she needs to be able to finish the thing. It's not a athletic pursuit that she wants to go out and dominate and be like the world's fastest runner. But it's like, I need to finish it, not get hurt, and not hate my life the entire time.
Yeah.
But I still have this goal of body composition, being good at the barbell, and being strong as well.
So what's the question?
What do you do when what do you change when a client comes to you like that? What would you say to a client like that?
I would fire them.
We only get massive.
That's my answer. Nah, I think you just have to.
You hand passed this exact situation to me this week.
Well, to be fair, if I can, I will handball it.
Yeah.
But if I had one of my current clients just say like, "Hey, I'm doing whatever," I would be like, "Okay, well, how serious are we kind of taking this?"
Yeah.
Because a lot of my clients, if they just wanted to do like a 5K,
Yeah.
I'm like, "Fucking sweet,
Yeah.
like, do it."
You should be doing cardio anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, do it.
Finally,
you'll be
we can increase your work capacity.
fine. Yeah. So I think, and then if they're just like, "Look, I'm just gonna do a light jog," it's just gonna be with some friends, like,
Yeah.
or if they're gonna do, those things where they jump over the fucking obstacles and shit.
Yeah.
Spartan.
Yeah, that's it. So I'm just like, okay, cool. Let's just make sure that you're, kind of in a position to do some variety of movements and actions and stuff, just so you don't die.
Yeah.
Or rip your bicep off the bone like one of my clients did.
Jesus.
Yeah. But he was like jacked and
Yeah.
did just like, I'm signing up for this thing and doing it with my friends. Ripped his bicep off his bone. And it was literally just like,
Would ruin your day.
you know how you had to pull people up the ramp thing?
Yeah.
So he was pulling them up and he was just doing 1, 2, and then third one, just shriveled up the. So you don't want that to happen. That's what my main objective would be, is like, I want this person to get out of this, like, and go back to the gym.
Yeah.
But then, like, if it was, you'd obviously dive a bit deeper and just like, okay, what's the motivator for you to do it? And if the motivator didn't involve like enjoyment for the thing, the challenge of actually completing the task, maybe socializing with some friends and completing that together, and it was like, I just want to lose weight, and I think that like adding this in is going to be the reason to do, like, it's going to excel my results.
The fun run thing.
Yeah, I'd be like,
Yeah.
look, you probably don't need to do that if that's
Yeah.
your main objective. Like,
driver.
let's put everything that we're doing under a microscope, and
Yeah.
we're probably going to be able to solve the problem.
Yeah.
So the consultation, like this chat, programming chat I had with somebody yesterday, it was like, I want to run 3 days a week to be able to do like 10 to 14 Ks. I'm not really keen on ever doing anything more than that again. I've lost a lot of weight with cardio, but I don't actually enjoy just like going to the gym and lifting weights.
Yeah.
But I know that I need to lift weights to look the way I want to. So like that was the
Yeah.
position that it was left in.
That's interesting. Yeah.
So the way that we approached it was like, you do understand that going to the gym doesn't have to be like 3 sets of 8 of this and blah, blah, blah. Like, it can be. And there are a lot of people that enjoy that. And like, there are a lot of people that aren't. And so, yeah. And that's why I'm fucking massive.
That's why I can't walk up a flight of stairs, but it's all good.
So like, the way that I approach it is asking how serious she was about the run. So she's got like a not fun, but it's like a 14K
Why do
thing.
they call it fun runs?
It's
How the
so
fuck
not
is it
fun.
Yeah.
She's got a run
I
that's,
think they just call it that so they don't have to give a prize.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If
And
we
it
call it a
kinda-
fun run, it's like, I don't have to give away
Kind
any
of rolls
money.
off the tongue quite nicely.
Yeah, it's like, you
Fun
can
run.
still pay the entry, but I don't have to give away 10 grand for the winner because it's a fun run.
because it's fun.
yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
And I'm going to say that it's for charity now too.
Yeah.
So.
I just don't like them using that word because I like fun.
But I do
ruining
not
it.
like run.
Yeah. Yeah, I like fun. If someone says, "Hey, Jace, it's fun," I'm like, "Ooh."
Ooh.
Yeah.
Where are those pineapple shorts?
Oh my goodness. So it was like talking about the run and then like establishing that there was a relationship between I ran and I lost weight and I want to stay lean.
Absolutely.
So then what we did from there is like we took it down another layer and I was like, how adverse are you to flipping those days and training for 3 days a week and running for 2 days a week? So what I'm going to do instead is, so it's like a lot nicer on your body and you're able to complete the run without being a sore wreck, let's incorporate one of those days to have a decent amount of cardio so you can work on your cardio capacity, still burn those calories, still get that sweat, still do the thing that's going to help you get the outcome of that run without dying. But I'm going to use 3 days in the gym to focus on changing your body composition. And she has a legend looking after her nutrition already. So we know that that's already going to be looked after. So it was explaining to her that like, cool, you want the outcome of being okay at this, but it's actually not that important to you.
Yeah.
It's, I am a person that is fit.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool. So like by flipping that and incorporating it in, what is it? Putting the vegetables in the pasta sauce?
Yeah.
That's it.
Putting the veg in the pasta sauce, so I can give her a little bit of, she's not too keen on upper body, but I can give her a bit of upper body, core work, cardio work, put that in a
do it in a tricep. I think
Literally.
you're doing cardio.
And-
you're not. You're not.
Don't watch.
Yeah.
But like,
Nothing more disappointing.
So this is going to come out later. They're not
This-
going to know.
There's nothing more disappointing than checking your like active minutes on your Garmin after doing like
Yeah.
some kind of giant set or something.
It's
Like,
like-
man, that was so hard, and it's like you did 0 active minutes.
yeah,
Start breathing. Start hyperventilating before
Yeah.
you do the set.
literally. But that's a real life example in the last 24 hours
Yeah.
of how I dealt with it. And to be honest, this is like, I think it's something for people to reflect on. It's like, do you enjoy doing cardio or do you want to be leaner?
Yeah. Yeah. It's,
Like with this whole running thing at the moment, the
Yeah.
amount of this running phase.
Really, really unflattering selfie
Overheads.
angles.
The 0.5 while running, go off, but like,
It's
I
not
liked Sin's story the other day, or the reels.
He's
Like
so-
what you think your running looks like, and he's a good looking dude too, and it was
Yeah.
just like perfectly framed, well lit, and that's the fucking top of his head. What you actually look like is great.
Yeah.
he's like journey at the moment is like so entertaining. I'm like, I'm so invested in your triathlon,
Yeah.
like it's not even funny.
Yeah, it seems
He's
disgusting.
working with
but
Annie
awesome.
as well.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had to just talk about it this
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, it's sick.
So
Everyone going with the
Hi,
beat.
Sin.
So what I did in this scenario, so this client was following that like fitter, leaner, stronger model. So some barbell work, some volume work, and then usually the end of the session would be some cardio-ish kind of stuff, heart rate based, whether it was a giant set, whether it was physically get on the exercise bike,
Yeah.
whatever, sleds, kettlebells, whatever. That program kind of moves through the I've got 3 phases built for it. So it's like stronger is foundational. It's the first program you do because most people get the most out of that. Then it goes into leaner, which is just the same. There's like a little bit. There's just like a little bit of extra output
There's no
stuff
such thing
in
as
it.
a leaner program.
Yeah, it's like it's
He's
just
tricking you all.
Yeah.
Okay,
You
Michelle
sh-
Bridges.
Look at you with your snake oil.
And then the last one is fitter, and that one's actually kind of 2 days weight training, and then the other 2 are like
Hard.
I think it opens. Yeah, I think it opens with a
Really?
little bit of strength work, and then it goes into disgustingness. I think you've done it right.
I have
the
done
third
it.
one. Yeah.
So I think I was the prototype for that fucking program.
So we were sort of on that direction anyway. So it was just like, cool. So all you need to do is this, which is now 2 days of lifting heavy, which is at least going to keep the muscle mass you have.
Yeah.
Use the gym time to continue getting fitter, because that's a scheduled time that's easy in your day that you've already got. Keeps the routine of going to the gym. We can sneak in some resistance work as well. And then here's a 2-day running program that you can add either off days or at opposite ends of the
never.
day.
You're like, this is gross.
Yeah,
I'm
fuck
kidding.
this.
I did Stairmaster today. Yesterday. I'm feeling fit.
Fitness.
Good boy.
5 minutes.
Fitness.
Very nice.
Um,
Hands on.
Of course. Leaning over, staring at my phone, watching YouTube.
just lifting feet.
Just got to get the hoodie and put the towel over my head, and I'm
Really
like, real
hardcore.
me head.
Yeah. So yeah, like that was the strategy we took. It's like, I think, like you said with the run the 5K thing, I think we overcomplicate how much interference there's actually going to be from lower goals like that.
Especially people who don't train hard. Like it's all good, bro. No, I'm not saying your clients don't, but it's like if most people don't train hard, it's like, bro, there's no interference at all. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
I agree.
But if you're a high level athlete or like you have high proficiency and work ethic in the gym, it's like it's probably gonna have a bit of interference in that. Like,
Yeah, and if I looked at it, I just keep coming back to you because you're in the room. But like,
Thank you.
all my competitors,
please do.
all of my
All
competitors
the
right
compliments.
now are within 6 weeks of comp.
Yeah,
Introducing a running program to them right now would be a problem.
Yeah.
absolutely.
And it'd be the same for your guys that are like, most of them are starting to transition now into the prep
Yeah.
time, right? So it's the same. It's like they're at as much fucking weight training as you can do. But
Yeah, we're trying to get fucking huge.
how close to the sun can we get without breaking?
Yeah.
And then it's like just throwing a 5K on top of that is a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're at cloud level, you're not that close to the sun that it matters. Adding a little bit of cardio on top.
You're not fragile.
Gonna be okay.
You're
And
a
that-
lot less fragile than you think you are. And
Yeah, you don't need to have all this fucking over complication, hyper specific shit for someone who's just doing a bit of push pull leg and
Yeah.
most likely not getting lower than 3 rep in reserve. Really.
Yeah.
It's have at it, man.
Go for it.
5Ks.
Yeah.
You'll be sweet.
do
fine.
something hard and
If
realize
your car
that
broke down and you had to fucking walk to a servo, you'd do
figure
it.
it out,
Yeah.
yeah.
And if it was raining, you'd probably run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're sweet. Yeah.
I had to run on Tuesday in my
Yeah.
suit.
Were you
150 meters?
graceful?
Not gonna lie.
It would have felt graceful.
I want.
Actually no.
footage.
You've had a bit of practice
I'm
running.
moving right now.
Yeah.
All right.
How you describe yourself getting out of bed, I have high hopes for you.
So I'm gonna.
Do you know what I've learned? I've learned the best cheat code for getting up out of places. Use your child as a counterbalance.
Yeah. Nice.
It's if you
That's-
hold him over the edge.
That
of
has
the
an
bed,
expiry
you
date.
just whoop.
Yeah.
It also has a very, very well. It's not a quick expiry date, but
Oh yeah, I could yeet my
Now
child
I've got a good
now. But
3 years, surely.
3 years.
Yeah, I can hold him a full extension.
Yeah, but he's not going to want to hang around with you for that. Once he learns how to move, he's going to want to walk.
That's true. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, you got 18 months max, cuz. If he starts walking soon, you're done.
Yeah,
Be fuck you. Let me. Because my understanding is just once they know how to walk, they're just stop picking me up. I can do it myself.
false.
A lot of kids. A lot of
Okay.
kids are like that, but not all.
Maybe at home. And then it's
Yeah.
when they're out, they're just
Yeah. Packer's just up.
let's make a good bodybuilder, that kid.
Yeah.
All right, one of life's hard questions.
Oh god.
Real hard. Do you eat rice with a spoon? Do you eat chicken and rice with a spoon or a fork?
Fork.
Yeah, fork.
Fork? Yeah, that's okay. You don't have to explain yourself.
Slows me down.
Tam. Spoon or a fork?
Depends how the chicken is in the dish.
Okay, so
If it's big pieces of chicken,
So it's-
I just use my hand
Alright.
and,
Whoa.
and spoon for the rice.
barbarian.
But
I love that.
if the chicken's all cut up, spoon still.
Yeah,
It's a very Vietnamese answer.
yeah. Well, but he's still going with the most practical way of eating it, right? So if it's
'Cause-
cut up chicken,
The fork just doesn't work for the rice
Yeah.
the whole meal.
I agree, man.
The last 3 scoops is challenging with the
Yeah,
fork.
And
that's
it's
why I couldn't believe.
Scraping and shit.
So when I put the poll out, I was like, "How are you fuckers eating rice with a fork?"
Jace, Matt Summershall, fork.
Yeah, you're fired, Matt.
No, but I want to do what he's doing
You are
because
actually,
he's jacked.
you
so
are actually not.
please don't leave me.
He's eating rice with his fork as he's eating a whole chicken with his hands. He's like-
Taking Tam's
So-
example
so-
to the extreme.
I think that when people eat chicken and rice, they have a piece of chicken, so it's not cut up. So they have to use a fork to cut it, right? So
understand.
then that's when I was like,
I pre-cut my chicken.
"Look, I'll give you guys a pass, right?" But you may as well do you eat cereal with a fork then?
And milk goes through the fork.
No, because
No,
it's
it doesn't make
liquid.
sense.
It's
no,
it's viscosity.
it's not. It's the same. It's
It's
what
not the same
the
at all.
rice is going to fall through the fork.
Nah.
It absolutely is.
Maybe I just.
So
need-
you get
Do you,
every
do you cook your rice?
absolutely.
It gets pretty sticky.
It's pretty
Nah,
fluffy.
there's
Pretty
not a
fluffy. Can
chance.
sit on top. Can sit
There's
on top
not
of
a
the fork.
chance.
Okay,
You
let
guys-
me ask you this question.
You got so
We went to the cafe.
oh sorry.
We went to
Okay.
cafe for
Yeah.
brunch,
Absolutely.
and there was a rice dish with chicken.
I
Would
would
they have given you a spoon?
I don't care. I would ask for one. I don't care what these.
But that's the status. You can't be like it's wrong. It's the status quo.
I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying you
But
guys
you
are not
suck.
eating efficiently and you suck.
What's the justification for a fork?
Yeah, I don't get it either. It's going to fall through the gaps.
But
So-
what if? Okay, I
So
have
that's-
broccoli in my meal,
Yeah,
And I
use a
can't-
spoon. Why can't you use a spoon
yeah,
for that?
can you?
but
wait,
it's too much to balance on a spoon. If I stab it, then I can.
Just
okay,
chew on it.
So if you've got
That's
a
a
piece
pretty
of
good
chicken,
argument.
if you've got a piece of chicken and a piece of broccoli,
Yeah.
and then you got rice,
You want
right?
a layer.
Exactly, and then the rice sits on top of the chicken and the broccoli. I'm
Yeah.
not picking up individual fucking granules of rice. Like
A spoon of broccoli
The
and
last-
chicken isn't ladylike.
the last,
I get it.
I will argue, the last 20%.
I've never been
The
called
last
like
20% of your chicken and
Actually,
rice.
If there's broccoli in my meal, I'd use chopsticks.
Well, I'm not
quiet,
Vietnamese.
So
quiet.
now you've just changed the fucking game.
You're making the eating even harder
Yeah,
by having
so-
like even a lower surface area. So, like you have to get the bowl, so you got to scrape the food into your mouth. Like how do you get all
We
the
went
rice?
to
You can
Vietnam.
do that with chopsticks, not a fork as well, or as quietly.
We went to Vietnamese after one of the Doherty sessions. Myself, Jace, Adrian, and Liana.
Yeah.
And like I just grabbed the chopsticks. We had chicken and rice.
Very good.
And I looked down the line and I was like, swine. Just ate my rice.
I am superior.
Yeah. And then I put too much sauce on it, so then I finished it with a spoon.
No, I
See,
think
it's
And I wouldn't. I
fork-
think
fork does not
you're.
enter the
I'm,
chat.
I'm gonna record
It's only
myself
relevant
eating.
when you have a full piece of chicken.
I
And
think
a
you're
knife.
overshooting the
And a
20% mark. I would say the last
The last
three.
when you got to scoop it and get it all
That's
in.
definitely not 20%.
I'm finishing my meal in a far easier way than all of you guys, and I'm eating all of it.
Yeah. So my immediate answer was using a fork will slow me down.
Yeah, that's not cool, man.
So don't elaborate on my food.
You need to slow yourself down. It's fine.
Yeah. The only time I would use a fork is if I also have a knife.
Agreed.
Otherwise,
So that's where I was being understanding
otherwise
until you guys
it's-
come at me
yeah.
with your pitchforks.
Yeah.
If it's a
Excuse
bowl,
me, you told me I was wrong.
Yeah, we came at him with pitchforks. He came stomping in, ready to fucking Conor McGregor into the ring. Let's go. If y'all say fork, I'm fucking coming
oh,
for you.
absolutely.
And he was like, okay, cool, wrong.
Okay, I'm not listening to anything you just said.
You lose
You can't
all
balance. You can't balance broccoli on a spoon, so you're out of the conversation. Like, oh fuck.
And you don't eat enough and want to eat slow, so you're out of the conversation too.
Yeah. Says
Now
the guy
I'm
that like if I didn't get enough, I'd probably fucking like start. If there was sauce on the bowl, I'd start licking it and shit.
Pretty sure I've seen you do that at Nando's.
Stop that.
I've definitely done the like bowl to face flick with rice and a fork.
The bowls are
I'm not
facing, then
above
just
it.
the.
Oh, what the
I'm not above it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've done that too.
I know.
I get it.
I know because I have too. Oh, that was a good one. Are we good?
Last 50 seconds, last one.
All right.
quick fire, rapid fire,
Yeah.
fire.
I'm just like mortified now that Tam has that video of me.
We now have our first STC GIF.
And last week's.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm blacking out that section. That's behind the paywall.
it's hot.
So hot.
This is a big question. Let's do it. Is there an optimal time to do a prep for a powerlifter or a bodybuilder? So like, what would the timeline?
Time frame or time of year? Or
No. Like, as in, how long would you want to train for to do that? So like,
My preferred would be 26 weeks.
yeah,
Like work with the person, like
I don't know.
the athlete work. Because if it's like if someone works with me, I would like to be able to do it. I would like to go through a cycle of it once with.
Ooh, yeah. Fucking oath. Fucking sign me up. Where's the application form?
STCfit.com. Jess does cycles.
Supplements not included.
Yeah, okay. So you want to do like a period before they start the...
Correct. So I would like to do a peak, go through a build, whether it's like strength or say in bodybuilding world, like I would like to be able to go through the phases with them,
Agreed.
get them peeled first or get them to peak first, then go back, readdress everything and do it all again.
Absolutely.
So somewhere between 6 and 9 months, I feel would be absolutely perfect in order to do that in a sufficient way.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if you had the strength or you have the muscle to just do the prep, then it's fine.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people like just like, oh, I'm going to compete and they have like no muscle.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Nah.
you need muscle to show it off. Like you need to
It's
have...
not a dieting
Well, sorry.
contest.
Like you need to have the physique for the criteria.
Yeah.
So if you don't have that, then you're better off like, you know, kind of having
Building it,
the 12, 24 months, 3 years, who knows, to build
There's
it.
two sides to a physique competition. Called.
Correct. And then, just after that, it's just like, I've at least a period of time where you can kind of get a bit of an idea of how the person responds to, you know, the diet and the training, and then you can do the prep.
Yeah.
So we spoke earlier about you taking on a client late, me taking on 2 clients late. The reason I say 26 weeks is by the time we get to heavies, so say triples, you move, and this is going to sound authoritarian. I'm not an authoritarian coach. You move the way I want you to move.
Yeah.
By then.
Yeah.
So it's like, so I've got 16 weeks really to get you to move how I want you to move.
Yeah.
These girls have got at the moment, there's like, I want to change this, I want to change this, I want to change this, but I can't change it 8 weeks out.
Yeah.
Because it's going to fuck everything. So in that time frame, I can adjust programming, give technique cues, build whatever around strength and weaknesses, knowing that when you get to a triple, it's going to look how I want it to look.
Yeah.
And then you're going to get the best outcome on the platform.
And that's...
And even just like work capacity, someone coming late, it's like, how long have you been squat, bench, and deadlifting for? It's like 18 months fucking every week. It's like, okay, so you haven't done a reach, you haven't done anything out, like, so prone to niggle. It's like I don't want to use the term bulletproof, but like I can mitigate a lot of risks with volume training a long way out. There's lots of stuff I can do in that first 10 to 16 weeks to get you ready to be your absolute best after what is essentially a 10 to 16 week prep.
Yeah. And that's why you said, like, the key word you said was optimal. Can you do incredible things with people in less time than that? Absolutely. But optimally, if
it's
we
fun.
had... literally.
Both those girls have already had all-time PBs.
Yeah.
Inside, I think it's like 6 and 8 weeks.
Fab.
So you can. What's the best?
Yeah.
So all-time PB supersedes all the other PBs?
They are the one.
They are the only PB that counts.
Because people sometimes they do better in the gym than on comp day. So all-time is best.
Okay. So,
I think
the all-time PB could be anywhere?
Yeah.
So you could do it in the gym or the platform?
Correct. So it's a all-time PB, but it hasn't been done on comp day yet. So it's technically not a comp PB.
Okay. I understand.
I feel like the only PBs that matter, or if you're a competitive powerlifter, your all-time PB actually doesn't fucking matter. Only platform matters. But then I think the only other time a PB matters is if you've like a body weight PB. Like if you can bench, if you can like look at women and the ratio of body weight to bench press. I feel like if you can do something significantly lighter.
Yeah. So if I competed now, I would compare my 90 kilo total, not my 100 kilo total.
Yeah.
I'd be aiming to beat my total I got at 90 kilos,
not
100.
Yeah,
because all time.
Yeah. Anyway, that was
you
just
got to do some shit to get to that.
Yeah.
Haagen-Dazs.
Some
Just
shit.
a supplement protocol.
Apparently STCfit.com. I'll go find it.
Jess is your woman. She's got you covered.
Comeback song.
She's got you covered. All right, we'll wrap it up. We'll wrap it up. What a way to end the pod. All right. Thanks, guys. Thank you for listening. Thanks to Jess for coming in. Get your questions in next time we do a Q&A. Give us some feedback. Obviously, perfect opportunity to hit the subscribe button. Join the journey. Join the mission that is Barbells and Banter. We'll see you next time.